What if the real reason waiting feels so hard isn't about what we're waiting for, but what if it's about what we worship? Think about it. Why does waiting frustrate us? Because deep down, we set our own timeline. We've decided when things should happen, how fast they should move, and what success should look like. And when God doesn't fit into that schedule, we feel stuck. But what if we're not stuck at all? What if God is actually saving us from the very thing we've made into an idol, our own sense of time? Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, He's made everything beautiful in its time. Not our time, His time. And that's the real struggle, isn't it? We love control. We love predictability. We love knowing when. And when we don't, we start to panic. We start to doubt. And before we even realize it, we start trying to take God's job into our own hands. This is what happened to Abraham and Sarah. God promised them a child, but when the timing didn't match their expectations, they tried to help God. They took matters into their own hands and birthed Ishmael instead of waiting for Isaac. And that one decision, it created years of conflict that could have been avoided if they had just trusted God's timing. How often do we do the same thing? How often do we rush ahead because we think God is taking too long? The truth is, whatever we trust more than God becomes an idol. And for many of us, that idol is time. We live in a culture that tells us we're behind if we haven't hit certain milestones by a certain age. Married by 30, dream job by 25, financial freedom by 40. And if we don't check the boxes, we start feeling like failures. But what if God's plan for you looks different? What if His delay isn't a delay at all, but a divine setup for something better? Here's the test. Are you willing to trust God's timing even when it doesn't make sense? Are you willing to let go of the clock and hold on to Him instead? So here's my challenge for you. This week, ask yourself, what's my Ishmael? What's the thing I've tried to force because I didn't trust God's timing? And am I willing to lay it down? Because real faith doesn't just trust God to give the promise. Real faith trusts Him to deliver it at the right time. So take a deep breath. Stop watching the clock because it doesn't work. Stop comparing your timeline to someone else's because in the kingdom, you are not behind. And what God has for you, it will come exactly when it's supposed to.